Human's body is as beautiful as a sunset that you just go and watch and you're like, wow. I used to hate my breasts just because men stared at them, women stared at them.
Latvian girls look gorgeous. Like, it's just, I can't get enough. But they don't understand how pretty they are. It's crazy.
Well, I do a lot of styles. Contemporary, jazz, acrobatics, heels.
Heels I've seen. Yeah,
Everybody's seen heels. I used to have a lot of problems with accepting love. When he asked me to move in, I just started to cry because I was afraid. I had to rearrange my brain to understand that I'm deserving of love, I'm deserving of good things, I'm deserving of a good life.
Thank you for coming back to Vulgar Conversations. I'm Santiago Rivero. Today I have the great Pegija. She is very, very wise, so don't be fooled by those super great looks. I am very impressed talking to her, and I can't wait to read your comments and see how you appreciated what she has to say. Thank you for coming. And these are Vulgar Conversations. How have you been?
I don't know. Good?
Okay.
Busy?
Busy. What have you been doing? Like, listen.
Since when?
Since a long time ago. Like, I wanted to invite you because I see a lot of what you work on your socials. Mm-hmm. And, I made this movie. So it's in the same kind of universe. And I wanted to talk to you because I feel that you know better the challenges of trying to do spicy, feminine content more than me.
I don't know, maybe you know more about it.
No, I don't. I feel that what you're doing is super cool. And I just really wanted to, get to know you. And then I was like, we do a little conversation. And I ask your point of view in certain things that I had to deal with, just so that I can learn more about the place, and because I also have seen that you have been traveling also a lot, so maybe that's why. So, but I'm gonna get to know it. So yeah, no. Have you been lately? What are you doing? How was your summer? Let's start.
Oh, my summer,
Yeah.
Really busy. I haven't rested at all, which is kind of sad. But
Okay.
as one photographer said yesterday, you're clean the tears with the money.
Yeah, wow.
So.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
you gotta keep yourself active if you're gonna do
Yeah,
something.
but there's a fine line between like keeping yourself active and like doing too much.
Okay.
Whenever I'm in Latvia, I somehow manage to do too much.
Okay, but you feel why is that? Because you like what you're doing here, or because you need to do it?
Because my studio is here and my agency is here, so the people that work there
Okay.
come to me more. Like when I'm away, they know that I'm away and it's like 6 hours time difference and they're not gonna call me at the middle of the night.
Okay.
But now they're like, oh, she's just right around the corner. Let's call
Okay,
her.
okay.
Peggy, what should we do?
Okay.
Yeah.
How is what's your, specifically like your dance studio? What do you do in the dance studio?
Dance studio is for teaching dance.
Dance.
Different types of dance classes, choreographers teaching.
But you're not the only teacher, there's many teachers.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't teach group classes at all anymore since a year, 2 years, 2 years.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now you're living the dream. No.
Well, I still teach classes, but not like regular classes. Because I
Okay.
did that for 10 years and I was like, maybe I should stop.
Yeah. Maybe it was enough. Okay, cool. But yeah, I really love like the photos that you're doing, that you post. You're not posting that much dancing, to be fair, lately. But I see a lot of
Just
like.
on my stories. But I don't post a lot of things. Like if you'd see how many photos and videos I have, I
Okay.
don't post at all a lot.
But you post a lot.
But no.
No, of what you do. Okay. Okay, so
Just
that's
some
why you're.
skies and sunsets
Okay.
and random things.
Okay. No, but I'm always seeing that like you work. I know that you work with one of the guys of a studio that I really like. I'm gonna remember his name. I know because he posts also what you do.
Valdis?
Valdis, yes. Like I love the place and I love what you're doing together. This is the trailer that we're gonna release about the movie. We wanted to see your reaction while you watch it. So just hit play. You know how phones work.
Visu naktis plānojas.
Tā būs pat labākā balīte.
Es nevaru sagaidīt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was coming in tomorrow.
I'm Simon.
You know it's not appropriate for a married woman to hang out with other men.
I would never go out with you.
It's proven that human beings are not supposed to consume dairy.
If you would taste it, you'd know that's not true.
The more you deny, the sure I'll be just like me. The more you deny, the sure I'll be just like me.
Are you having an orgasm already?
The real question is, do you love diaries?
Of course I do. Well, then that's it.
Yes, I'm vulgar for sure.
Tu neesi aizmirsusi man kaut ko pastāstīt?
How did you like the trailer? What are your thoughts? Be brutally honest.
Well, it's just a trailer, so
Yes.
It's intriguing. I like the colors because I've done like videos and movies, blah blah blah. So I instantly look at. I don't look just at like the concept. I look at the little things that maybe nobody else even looks at. The shot where Angelica.
Yes. Okay.
She looks up. It's like dark night, and she looks up. I love it.
Okay.
I love the shot.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks interesting. It also looks funny.
Okay.
There's some humor in it.
Yes, I'm a funny guy. No, I'm kidding. I love nudity. I love those kind of things. And of course, like, as always, it needs to be like kind of like how you do it also. Like you're very careful with the aesthetics of the things. It can, if it looks cheap, it becomes something cheap. And, you know, I was very aware I wanted something very, very beautiful. And right starting with the casting, finding the actress was already, I got super lucky because I got to work with a wonderful actress that is Katrina.
Yeah, I saw the previous podcast.
Yes.
I did my
Your homework, okay.
research. Yeah.
Okay. She was phenomenal, but it's not like I had too many people to choose. And that's why I feel so lucky because she's starting her career. It's not like she has been doing this forever because she's very young. And I got very lucky that she was so good. Like, and I knew it right straight from before shooting the movie. We made a little short film to get to know each other. It was the same story. I was basically doing like a proof of concept to get the money to make the movie. But the first day we read, she was already very good, and I was like, wow, like that. I felt very, very lucky because when I was looking for people, I asked some friends that knew some actresses and then point me at certain people. And I have a casting agent and he was like, she would never do that. Like there was literally apparently a girl that literally that when my casting agent asked her, she literally gave him the finger. And I was like, you can't just say no. Why you gotta be so mean? It was a challenge because I feel culturally it's a little bit still like, how have you dealt with it locally?
Honestly, I don't care. But it took me a long time to get to that point.
Okay.
But for me, it's all about the intention. And for me, nudity and bodies, it's not about like sex and like, it's, as I say, human's body is as beautiful as a sunset that you just go and watch and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful.
I agree.
And that is how I approach it and how and why I do it. I don't like when I see a naked man or a woman, whatever, I don't think about like sex instantly. It's not like, yes, that's it. I look at like at the body lines, at the shadows, at like a lot of things, and yeah.
And why did you start it in it? Like you always had like that kind of like a...
I don't even know how it happened.
Okay.
I used to hate my body.
Okay.
Like probably up until I was, I don't know, 23.
Okay.
What I am now, 29.
Wow. Okay. Why did you hate it?
I didn't like it. I felt like I'm like too muscular. I used to hate my breasts just because men stared at them, women stared at them. And it was since I was 13 years old. So it's a lot of attention. And when you have big breasts, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's like, she has breasts.
They're gonna check out. Ah, okay, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I used to hide them, like, and also because I am a dancer, I don't have a dancer type of body.
Okay.
And a lot of dancers dance in like bikini tops, etc. I can't do that. Like I physically can't because my boobs will fly out.
Okay.
And that gave more of the feeling that like, I don't know, like something's wrong because I can't do the things that others are doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I've always been muscular and I have like tiny hips and I hated it. I was like, ugh, I'm ugly.
Okay.
And then somehow I started to think that the problem like with men staring at me or women looking at my breasts and being like judgy, I was like, it's not the problem isn't my breasts, it's them. It's like the things that are happening in their head, it's their problem.
Yeah.
And I just kind of reprogrammed my brain, but it took a lot of time to do that and to actually love my body, like all of it. It doesn't mean that I think that I'm the most beautiful person in the world. It just means that I love and accept it. And it's such a strange thing because as a dancer, it's so weird not to love your body because I can do so many crazy things.
Yep.
I can flip and trick and I have had one injury, but it's still, I've been dancing for like, I don't even know how many years, like 18. And I've had one injury.
Yep.
And it's because of my body, because it does everything so good. And I was like, how can I hate it?
Yeah.
When it's carrying me through this world, how can I hate it? And then like just taking pictures also came from dance because we had to do photo shoots for dance.
Okay.
And somehow I don't know, I caught that like I like it and I'm good at it and photographers caught it and then somehow, I don't know.
Good, because you do some very cool stuff.
Thank you.
One question: do you think something changed? Why did it change that suddenly? Was there like a moment that you were like, oh, now I like this? It wasn't like a photo shoot or a special dance.
No, it was like a tiny
little
bits,
by little,
yeah. Okay. And yeah, now I can't imagine myself thinking differently. And what is, I wanted to say weird, but it's actually not weird, but it's interesting that, you know how we say that whatever you're thinking about, that like comes your way?
Yeah.
So when I used to hate my body and when I used to be ashamed of my breasts and hide myself, there were a lot of men like staring, saying inappropriate things. Women were like judgy and like, a lot of people. Even when I was just not even like in clubs or whatever, just like walking down the street.
Okay.
Since I changed my mindset about it, there are no people like that.
Okay.
They just disappeared.
Okay. That's
into
good.
the void.
Okay. Good. But
Yeah.
that's good.
It is.
No, but I do feel that, when something changes in us, I don't know if we don't pay attention to what's happening outside.
It's also that. There's some
little
truth
bit,
in that, but it just changes like.
Well, also,
perspective.
if you look more confident, people tend to like, I'm not gonna fuck with this girl because I'm gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah, but also.
I love how you said that being muscular is like a bad thing.
used
It's
to think
ridiculous.
that.
It's absurd. But no, I can see it. I can see somebody.
Because I felt that I'm not like feminine enough.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that. I can see where it comes from.
Yeah, but also both my like being muscular and like femininity. People always ask me like, don't you have like a lot of haters like DMing you like bad things? But actually no, like not at all. And most DMs that I receive are either from men or women that are saying that, oh, that's so amazing what you're doing, you get me inspired. Like women are reaching out and saying like, you're making me feel more comfortable in my body, like it's amazing. And I'm like, wow, if I can give that from my story and from what I'm doing, it's amazing. Yeah. Because it's a big problem. For people, not only women.
No, and I feel here is a big problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that what you're saying, I really love that you're like, there's a problem that I run into a lot of the times here, that I have met, like, you know, I come from Latin America, so Eastern European girls, Latvian girls look gorgeous for me. Like, it's just, I can't get enough, yeah? But they don't understand how pretty they are. It's crazy. I have seen so many faces botched because people do whatever, and I'm like, just live. And and any girl who would meet me, I have tell them, leave your face alone. Don't do anything, because I just find them so pretty. But there is this kind of, and it's weird because it's particular to the place, because, you know, where I come from, there's also very beautiful women, but I don't know, they feel a little bit, there's a value on being pretty. I feel here, if you are pretty or you feel good about yourself, it's kind of like not a good thing. Kind of. Yeah. So that makes people or girls a lot of the times like take terrible decisions. So I love when you say it, because if you're gonna, as you said, if you're gonna inspire somebody to feel comfortable in their own skin, that's a win that we need, and we need urgently.
Yeah, and that's another thing that, like, as I said, I used to like hate my body, and when I accepted it, when I started to love it, I was like I never want to do like any like Botox. Like, people can do whatever makes them happy. I'm not like, if you're happy, do it. But I'm so for people like embracing their looks. Yep. And I understand them being kind of afraid of like not having hips or not having big breasts or not having, I don't know, big lips. But you can, like, you're made the way you are, and you're supposed to be the way you are and embrace the things that you have. Like, even with my hair, I used to have straight hair, like they weren't straight, like I used to straighten them like every day. Yeah. Every day, like, also since till I was like 22. Okay. I have curly, this is my natural hair. Okay. And I used to like just, and now I'm looking at like old videos, and they even weren't that straight, because you can't have this. Yes. It's not gonna hold for long. But in my head, I had this idea that like to be pretty or to be something, you have to have like straight hair and like. Yeah. What is this? I got you. Do you think doing photography helped you? No, actually. Okay. No, and that might actually be a distraction that also a lot of women do. That they like feed off of the, like, they take pretty pictures, post them, and then they feed off of the like comments, etc. Okay. But it's outside validation. Okay. So it doesn't, it's like you're just lying to yourself. It's tricking yourself. Okay. It's just a lot of work with yourself and with your mind. Okay. Any physical activity will help, because that's going to be like mind-body connection. Okay. And when you're more in tune into your body, you just feel better in it. Okay. And all the time people ask me, not only about this, but like, how are you so wise? And you've been through so much when you were a kid, blah, blah, blah. How are you so this and that? And I'm like, dance. Okay. Dance. But it really is like that. Okay. Wow. I used to recommend to everybody who was having troubles that they should take an acting class. I had never heard anybody said,
take a dancing class. But I
you
have
should try it.
But I'm gonna tell you, I have told people like try dancing. Like you know, in my culture we dance. Like if
Yeah.
you're Latin American, you're gonna be dancing all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
Latvians don't do that.
No, they don't
So
do
do you
it.
understand how like stiff, and I don't even mean like physically stiff, but it's like mental stiffness
Okay.
is
okay.
there.
I can imagine it. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Like I can see that happen. But to be fair, I'm gonna say I have a little route that I walk by every day, you know, just to clear my mind. And they have like these bachata lessons. I call them chabata lessons, to be fair, because it's nonsense. But it's good for what they are supposed to be, yeah? So, and I think it's picking up. They're very popular. There's a bunch of people doing it.
Yeah.
So
It's getting better.
it is getting better.
It is getting
yeah,
better.
Yeah, it is getting better.
But there's still
Because to
a
be
long way.
because to be fair, the one that called it chabata wasn't me. It was a Latvian girl that said, "Oh, look, they're dancing chabata." I'm like, "Chabata? What are you talking about?"
It's a new style. It's a Latvian thing. You wouldn't know it's a Latvian thing.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And they're like, "Do you mean bachata?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, bachata." I'm like, "Wow, chabata. Wow, that was
But
funny."
it sounds good, ciabatta.
It does.
It sounds good. It
It's-
has a ring to it.
It has. Maybe it's gonna catch up, and we're gonna have to say thank you to that girl. And one question that about the dancing. How do you feel about the dancing scene? Like now, more about the entertainment industry, the dancing scene in Latvia. What are the pros and cons? What do you like?
It depends on like what type of dancing are we looking at. Is it like teaching? Is it performing?
Performing, for example.
Performing. Well, it's still an underpaid job,
Okay.
but not for me.
Okay.
At least for like 3 years, I've like paved my way, and nobody's even offering me like jobs for like €5 because it's a thing. The people think that dancing is easy and that like you can just come, take your costumes, and we'll give you just some snacks and that's it.
You're gonna use it for the how's it called? The exposure. You need the exposure.
Yeah, the best payment there ever
Yes.
was exposure.
Yes, they take it in Rimi. When I go, I use all the exposure they have given me here.
But again,
Yeah.
it's the same as with like my body and loving it. As soon as you switch your mindset, because I used to worry, like if I told somebody like, okay, this is gonna cost this and that, I used to always like, right, if you have like any problems, we can go lower, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that anymore. And since I switched my mind to like actually acknowledging how much what we do costs, like fairly, and just bluntly saying, hey, look, this is that, and everybody's paying what I need. And nobody even offers like these strange jobs that are like you have to do a lot for nothing. So you can earn, you can earn with that here in Latvia, and that's why I have my agency.
Okay.
Like I have a studio and an agency.
And it's agency just for dancers?
For dancers, for jobs for them.
Okay.
Working, so that's also another thing. When I was dancing and being somebody's else's, like under somebody else's wing. Okay. People didn't really take care about like the basic necessities. Like there weren't any, like dancers don't have, well, at least in Latvia, managers or anything. So you go and you're there on your own, and then they put you in a corner without any food, and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait here. And dancers do that because they're like, oh, I can't say anything, I'm just a tiny dancer. And I understood that's not the problem isn't even the dancers, but how we approach it. That we should instantly, like when a job is offered, we should be like any other artist. Okay, we need a backstage, we need water, we need food, and it's gonna cost basic necessity, nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's not champagne what we're talking about.
And that's what I'm doing for the dancers that work through me.
Okay.
Just managing that everything's fine, and I always tell them that if there's something missing or whatever, you write me and like I'll
handle it.
Yeah, because they don't have to do that. They just go there to dance, do their gig. That's what they should do. They shouldn't be managing. And actually, there have been few times when I put in like that we have to have food, blah blah blah. And when the dancers go there and I'm like texting them, so like, hi, are you on the spot? Is everything okay? Do you have everything? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, there is food, but they told us that it's for the main artist and we shouldn't like take too much. And I'm just like sending them voice recordings. Listen, guys, it's like in your contract that you have to have food there. Yeah. So you just take that food, look that lady in the eyes and eat it. Yeah. Take some home, it's for you. She's just trying to push your buttons, like it's for you. Okay. But if I didn't do that, they would be there like not eating for 5 hours, sitting and looking at the main artist, eating the food, and they'd be just like...
Okay.
Yeah, so it is possible to earn, but you have to be like very firm, especially at the beginning. But then also, when you do it with a high quality, people see it. And like now I have job offers not only from Latvia, for musicians from Moscow, from other countries, and people see that like, okay, this is good and we need it. And I don't even have to like promote anything. The offers just come. So it is possible. It just takes a little hustle for the first years. But
you would encourage people to follow dancing as a career.
Yeah, you just have to have a backbone.
I also make music, and I feel the industry is too young here. Like it needs more, and I agree, we all gotta stand up for ourselves, for what is needed to make the job. Because one part that people don't understand is that, you know, when you're asking for this, asking is not asking, because in reality, it's like when you're being trusted the responsibility of deliver a performance, you also have the responsibility of knowing what do I need to be sure that when the lights turn on or when the camera is rolling, I'm gonna be at my peak doing what is supposed to be done, yeah? So that's the part that a lot of people don't understand, that they are just trying to see how much the money, and they lose the bigger picture. I also understand, to be fair, because, you know, I came here with nothing and to the country, and that at some moments, some producers, they're just starting and they need some help. But as long as there's an industry, you know, because this is, you know, I went to school in New York, and what I would see there difference than here is that because there's an industry, when somebody's starting and like a new producers need dancers, he's not gonna work with the best dancers.
Exactly.
He's gonna work with the ones that are coming new.
But they also need it.
They
like
also need a collaboration, but it's mutual, and they're both betting on each other on the future.
And that's the difference. Like, you can work for free if like we're doing this for the higher arts. But if it's like a commercial thing and everybody is earning except for the dancers,
that makes no sense.
It's kind of weird.
That makes no sense. I agree. But those conversations are important to have so that people understand. I love working with dancers, to be honest. I have done 2 music videos in my life where I had like a full-on 8 dancers choreography done for the music videos, and I loved it. I really loved it. Like I wish I could do it more. It is expensive from a producer's perspective, because to be fair, that's another thing that happens, that unless you have many, it feels empty a lot of the times. Like I'm gonna say as a director, the more dancers, the better it feels.
It depends. Either you have to have like a lot, or you have to have 1 or 2 that are just so amazing that if they would be in the crowd, nobody would even look at the other people. Okay.
That I haven't done, to be fair. That I haven't done, but it's now that you say it would make sense. Yeah. But I love seeing like a choreography of a bunch of dancers in a
it always looks cool when there are a lot of people dancing.
I love it. Which is your dancing style? Do you do a specific genre? Does it have a name? I don't know. I know nothing, so I don't know.
Well, I do a lot of styles, because to be a professional dancer, you kind of have to.
Okay.
But mostly what I love and what I do most, it's contemporary dance.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. So
Sometimes I say contemporary and people are like, yes. And I'm like, do you know what it is? No.
I have heard it, to be fair. When I say I know what it is, I have heard it.
Do you know what it looks like? No.
I don't. No. Okay.
Google it
I
later.
will.
Yeah, so contemporary, jazz, acrobatics, heels.
Okay. Heels I've seen. Yeah, I've seen.
Everybody's seen heels.
Yeah, because I follow some people that do heels,
Yeah.
and I do watch at it.
Yeah, those are the ones that I like prefer. But like I do a lot of modern, and also like if it's for a music video, it's usually a bit different. It's more like it's commercial. It's not as much like a specific dance style. It's
Okay.
more. And now with TikTok and everything, it's another story. It's
Okay.
TikTok dances.
Okay,
They're
okay.
built different.
Okay. And one question: when it comes to modeling, how did you start it? Do you feel has helped with the dancing? Are they connected?
Modeling came from dance.
Okay.
Everything that I do came from dance. Like I do stunts also for TV shows.
Okay.
And that also came from dance because in contemporary dance you have to like, there's a lot of fall and release, so you have to fall on the ground but like softly so you don't break things, but it
Okay.
looks like just sudden.
Okay.
And yeah, modeling also came through dance, and they both definitely help each other. That's why like I'm always alive in the pictures with photographers love, because dancers, as they know if it's like a video shoot or whatever, we're always like ready. We don't have these like, for a model she hears tick, 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 and when it's not she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
We don't do that because we're like, if it's performance or anything, they always teach you like, even if you're standing with your back, there might be a camera somewhere, so you're always present, you're always in.
Okay.
So that's also what I do when I'm modeling, and it works.
Okay.
So yeah, it definitely helps. Both of them work together because from dance I've also like performed like a lot of live performances, a lot of music video shoots, like Supernova and things.
Okay.
And so I know how to work with the camera, how to work with people, and like a lot of those things.
Okay.
And it comes in handy.
And they feed from each other.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That makes. Well, I like when models are playful, and I like to take pictures with movement. So,
That's another thing.
because a lot of the times I feel that a lot of models, they're just bored. Right now there's this trend then to look good on cameras, the girls, like I say it as a joke, just be bored. But they're like,
Yeah.
and that's supposed to be modeling.
But that's because there's a lot of Botox now, and that's just nobody can make facials.
Could be.
No, really, it's like from the Kardashians, because all of their pictures are like, because they can't do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
But as they're so famous, the
Yeah.
influence comes.
Okay. So you think it comes from the?
Subconscious.
Could be. I'm not.
That's my theory.
Yeah. No, but it's not that crazy. I'm thinking about it because I'm going through my photo shoots. I'm like, yeah, okay, let me see. Yeah, because the Botox thing is crazy because it's also very young people. It's not like I could get it if I don't know, you're 45, you have a middle life crisis, and you want to take some wrinkles out of I can get it there. But when somebody's like 19 and they're just putting stuff, it's like, I want to smack them in there. It's like, leave it alone. One of the things of the themes of the movie is betrayal, because the main lady is in a committed relationship called marriage, and she meets a foreigner called handsome or something like that. Yeah. What do you think about like betrayal in general in relationships?
What do you mean? What do I think about
No,
it?
like do you feel like, sorry, but because I didn't give the context, like in Latvia in general, do you think it's a thing that is happening a lot, that is?
I don't think it's a thing that's happening like in Latvia or in France or in China.
Okay.
It's a thing that's just happening with some people.
But you don't think things have, do you think things have changed from before?
I really think it depends on a person.
Yeah.
There are people that will like cheat and lie their whole life, But it's mostly because they're just lying to themselves about how are they happy, what do they want. It just like deep dive in psychology.
We're agreeing in so many things. I'm gonna say something. I've always say, if you lie to other people, you also lie to yourself.
That's the first person you're lying to. It's yourself.
Yeah.
And like for me, if you're in a relationship, I don't see a point of being like jealous or whatever, because for me, loving a person is wanting for them to be happy. And even if that person sees somebody else someplace and they understand, oh, I think this person's gonna make me happy.
Okay.
I would want them to know that and to feel safe enough to come to me and be like, hey, this isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
And like
What if they say, this is still working, but I also like this one?
That's also a possibility. If you're
Yes.
open to it, you can do that.
Okay.
As long as you're honest.
Yep.
I think people should be able to do whatever they want to do as long as you're honest and you're not like hurting, like intentionally, physically hurting anybody.
Yeah.
You should be able to do whatever you want to do. And this like jealousy thing and being afraid of being cheated on or cheating yourself, it also comes from like lack of self-confidence and things like that. Because I don't think that two people that are confident enough with themselves, they're not afraid, even if they wouldn't see their other half for I don't know, for 5 months. They wouldn't be texting, oh, where are you, why are you not answering? It doesn't happen like that. No. You're fine with it, and it doesn't mean that you think that the person will never look at anybody else. And it's just, I think that love and relationships isn't about like ownership. You don't own the other person. You're just there to collaborate.
Okay.
And whenever and if the collaboration ends, you just talk to each other and it ends, rather than living a long life together, happily married, but like being not happy and cheating, which is what a lot of people do.
Yeah. I'm shocked. Yeah, all the guys in the place are as we should. Listen, ladies, listen to this lady, please. No, I agree 100% in the honesty. Like, you just gotta say what you're doing, and then communication is key. And I cannot say it better, so I'm not gonna stop talking, because I'm not gonna repeat exactly what you just said. It's weird that you're Latvian and you're saying these things. First time I hear it from a Latvian.
A lot of people are like, are you really Latvian?
Yeah. No, first time I hear it from somebody here like that. Yeah, it's weird, but good. I agree. Do you believe in true love, like that there's one person for somebody forever and ever?
I think you might click with some people more than with other people, and I think you know instantly whether or not the other person interests you. But
so, like at first sight, like love at first sight.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it love.
Okay.
I think, well, but it also depends like on a person, because like I have a very high like pattern recognition and empathy, so I instantly, from the person's body language and from everything, I know like.
What does my body language told you? Oh, Jesus Christ! Now I'm feeling self-conscious. You're cheap because your left leg. No,
not like that. Not like It's not like textbook.
Okay.
It's like what some people say, like I feel energies.
Yes.
That's actually what's happening. You're just so good at understanding people that you feel like you instantly know, but it's just like your brain is reading all of these things subconsciously. You're not even aware that you're reading that, but you are.
Okay.
And I think you can constantly, but instantly know if like a person is interesting to you. Some people, again, just lie to themselves and they go and talk with other people that they don't even care about, because they start to think about like, maybe there's some other agenda that I might get from this person. Okay. But I don't like that.
Okay.
But I don't think that there's like one true love. It's like, it's whether or not you work with the person with the honesty, and like whether or not when you have issues you work them out. and that's that. But it's kind of the same with yourself. Like if you have that type of relationship with yourself, you could end up living with someone forever. Or it might be the opposite. You might be together for like, I don't know, for 3-5 years, and people might think, oh, they're like perfect.
Yeah.
But you understand that no, something's not there. And if you're honest about that, then you'll just go your separate ways and be fine with it. I don't think that there's like one true love. I think it's commitment. Like whether
that's
or
more
not,
like a decision.
a decision based on what you're feeling. Because a lot of people, when they feel that they're not happy, for example, in a relationship, a lot of people start to like calculate, okay, but this person is like being good to me, like we're having this apartment together, if we break up I'll have to find my own apartment. And it's like it doesn't matter. Like if you feel bad, it doesn't mean that the person is bad. They might be a great person. It's just not, it's not working. Like you're not working. It's like with artists too. There might be two amazing artists, but they're just clashing. They don't work together. And you have to understand that, so you don't just like burn a building down. Okay. But it takes a lot for most people to understand that and to be that honest with themselves and with the other person, because you might think that, oh, I'm gonna hurt the other person. If I tell them that we should break up, I'm gonna hurt them, which is a possibility. But aren't you hurting them and yourself more if you just stay there being unhappy? Yeah.
Well, and sometimes the truth hurts.
And it's just, life is life, and it's better to know what is what, so you can move on from there than to just live in like some fantasy world that doesn't exist. And you're still. You can't really lie, like you can lie to yourself, but you can't really fully believe it, because you know what you know, and you just keep lying yourself. You're just like, oh no, it's all good, it's all good, but you know that it's not good. So there's no running away from yourself.
It's true. We were like recently talking, and there are people that are in situations that they know they are in that situation, but they keep like, trying. It's just like, it's still what it is. Like, there's nothing. How are you so wise having 29 years old? Jesus Christ, I was so dumb. I feel embarrassed.
It's my trauma, my childhood trauma.
Damn, but that's what people need then. Like, that's what they need.
That's not only the trauma. It's like, it's what you do with it. But it's like, I had a tough childhood, and like, and at some point, I just figured out that either I'm gonna let that all like drown me and just be unhappy and sad and like just sit in a pile of shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Or I'm gonna try and understand what it did to me, how I'm coping maybe not as good and healthy with things because of that, and how I could change that. Like step by step. But it's just like a lot of spending time with yourself, first of all, which a lot of people don't do. But again, they just distract themselves with like talking with everybody and
drinking.
And
do you drink?
I do, but rarely. And when I do drink, I'm not like, oh, I want to get drunk. If I drink Jack Daniels because I like how it tastes, and that's it.
Advertisement there, but okay, cool.
They don't actually, they never like sponsor anybody, so maybe they want to sponsor
me. They should.
What was I saying?
No.
Oh, how did I get that wise? Yeah. So it's working with yourself, but to do that, you have to be fine with not looking away from the sad, bad, and hurtful things. You have to be okay with being just like, okay, this is the bad thing, and it's there, and I'm gonna go in there and clean it up. It's like, if you have a mess in your room, and you just keep like piling it up, and you're like, oh, guests are coming, and you shove it in the closet. And you keep on doing that, and at one point, you're gonna run out of space. So it's better to just go there and be like, okay, let's just clean this up. And it's gonna take a time, and you'll be tired, and maybe you'll find something really there that you don't like, and you'll be like, ugh. But you have to be okay with that. And when you get okay with like being hurt or being uncomfortable with, it doesn't mean that you're like, you don't feel anything. It's kind of the opposite. You're just okay with that, with being sad or feeling hurt. And you're just like, okay, it's there. Let's feel it and let's move on with our lives. Yeah. That's what
I'm going to tell you something. By watching at your stories, I could never guess that you would have this type of thoughts. You should share them online. Like I think these are not only wise words. I feel they're important points that that a lot of people that might watch you might need.
Actually, I've been hearing this a lot. A lot of people have been telling me like, you should have a podcast, you should have this and you should have that. And like people should hear what you're saying. And I'd never know that you're like this, especially because, again, because of societal things. You look at my Instagram, you're just like, oh, she's just a pretty girl with like putting out her body. She's probably just like, as I don't know, sugar daddies or whatever. When
I wouldn't say it with the bad tone. I would say, oh, she's a pretty girl putting out her body.
But most people, when they see that, they're like, oh, she's probably kind of dumb and doesn't really do anything, blah, blah, blah. And some people might not put out pictures of themselves, some women, because of that, because they know that that's how they will be perceived. But again, it's not a me problem. The perception is there. It's what's happening in their heads, not like
1,000%.
And I like about talking about things like that. I'm not that active on my Instagram. Some people have been like saying like, "Oh, you're an influencer." I'm like, no, because I don't really.
Listen, I'm gonna take out my phone and we're gonna see that.
My Instagram is like my diary. I just post things there that I feel like posting today, and I might go gone for a week, and I don't care. And I know the things that you should do to like. If I would be an influencer, I'd have more than like 6,000 followers. And I know the things that I should do. I don't care enough about being like famous or whatever to do those things.
But in that same spirit, you can share some wisdom a little bit. Don't take it that serious. I wouldn't go to the other side, but
I'd rather share it with people that are like in real life.
Okay, in your close circle.
Yeah, it's like it's not that I don't want to share with people that I don't know. It's just that I do so much on my daily life, and I already have to be in my phone a lot to like answer people about work.
Yep.
That I don't want to I don't want to look at. I don't even go through Instagram. I just post things and I don't watch anything because I don't want to. I want to be like, I want to be present.
Yes.
And that's why I don't like talk as much and post things on my Instagram, just because it takes away from you wherever you are at that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more because of that, yeah.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you, you're saying those things, and it's exactly what has happened to me, that since I've been sharing more, I just have a team, and I'm never anymore. I used to send so many memes, like on my DMs to my friends. So my friends that are not getting any more my memes, I'm sorry, but now I don't, because I'm not in on socials anymore, because you take it differently as a job, and then somebody else has to take care of it. But yeah, self-discovery. There's a little bit of self-discovery also in the movie. I think it's the main thing that I wanted to tell about the story. What do you think is the hardest thing to discover about yourself? I have a theory already, but.
I don't know.
For me, I had, just to open the conversation, I had a big problem with alcohol. And at some moment I realized, that I have a big problem with alcohol. Because, like, it's so socially accepted that for a lot of people, they're always inviting you, oh, let's have a drink, let's have a beer, let's have this and that. And if you don't have a problem with alcohol, that's a normal thing to do.
Yeah.
But if you do have a problem with
then
alcohol,
it's a problem.
then it's a problem. And I would always end up in some sort of trouble, and I couldn't understand why. And then I understood I cannot even smell it. Like, it's just, I love it too much, and I just can't stop. It's like that, like, when I hear people talking, I agree. The first drink, and I don't have a terror. It's not like I'm an alcoholic, because alcoholic can literally don't touch alcohol. I can, but I used to have a big problem until one day I say, nah, I'm not drinking anymore. I know how this movie ends. It's always the same. It's a horror movie. And so I'm just gonna stop doing it. At that moment, it was something that, that changed. But I don't know if something like that happened. That's where the question comes from.
Not like that, but like the problem that I've had is because of my upbringing and because of my childhood. First of all, I used to try and like save people.
Okay.
Obviously, firstly, like my family, and then any other person that are having troubles. And by doing that, you're actually just looking away from yourself.
Yeah.
And because of my childhood, I used to have a lot of problems with just like accepting love.
Okay.
And I don't even mean it like in a crazy way, just like, I don't know, like accepting that somebody could help you, like a basic thing. I don't even like, I don't know, move something for you.
Okay.
Like, because I used to think that I have to do everything on my own, because that's how things happened when I was a kid. I had to take care of things, things that I shouldn't, as a kid, should not have.
Okay.
Yeah, so it took me a long time also, but it all happened in like parallels. Also when I was accepting my body more, etc. I had to rearrange my brain to understand that I'm deserving of love, I'm deserving of good things, I'm deserving of a good life.
Yeah.
Like, so the best example probably for this is like with my ex. We broke up like 2 years ago, but we were together for like 4 years. When we were together, it was during COVID. When it was like full lockdown, I almost didn't get back in the country. Like I was out in London.
Okay.
He picked me up at the airport, and you had to stay in a lockdown then for 10 days. So we stayed, and somehow from that, because it was COVID, and he also works in like show business, let's call it that. So we couldn't work.
Okay.
So we had all the free time in the world.
Okay.
So we were spending a lot of time together, and we were mostly in his apartment because like there's nothing to do. And we just would go by my house, pick some stuff, and go back to his place. And after this happened for like, I don't know, 4 months, he was like, hey, I think it's silly that you're paying for your studio, your like rent. You don't have any job. You're paying the rent at your studio. You're paying your rent for your apartment. Yeah. I don't have money, you don't have money, like, I think it's weird. Maybe you should just like come and live with me in this apartment, and then you'll have like less to worry about. Yeah. And he didn't even like, I wouldn't have to pay like half and half or whatever, he'd take care of everything. But because of my upbringing, when he asked me to move in, I just started to cry because I was afraid that if I leave my apartment, I won't have like a place to return to if
something bad would happen.
Yeah, if something bad would happen and we'd like break up or whatever. It's trust issues. But it's because I've been put out on the street because of my mom.
Okay.
So it makes sense that I have these trust issues, but are they helping me when a person is being like helpful and being like, hey, it's already tough times, let's not make it worse, and tougher. And my first instant reaction is fear. That I won't have my own space, that I won't have my security, because if I leave, then I like where I will go. And like I had to work with that a lot. And also my ex, we were somewhere eating, like a bunch of friends, we were eating, and you could pay only in cash. And he didn't have cash on him, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pay, that's fine. And when we went back, he was giving me the money. He's like, hey, here's the money for the food. And I was like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, I'm okay with paying, like, it's fine. And she was like, if I ever give you money, take it. Don't offend me, take it. And you understand how silly my brain worked, that like, it wasn't even my food that I was paying for, but I was so against accepting that, like, accepting anything.
Okay.
That I was like, no, I can't accept this money, even if it's not like he wasn't like just gifting me money. He was like returning it, and I was like, no, I can't. Like, I have to work for everything myself. I have to do everything myself. And that's a big thing. There are a lot of more things like from that. Okay. But that's a thing.
Okay. Well, but the good news is that you realized that, and that you were able to work with it. Because a lot of people, they have these things. I always say that everybody has like a myth, like a story they grew up with them in their head. And mine wasn't like that, but I had this idea also that I had to solve everything and I needed to be superhuman and then do the hardest stuff in the universe. And that really prevented me from creating bigger teams. And you know, to make a movie, you need a good team. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are as a person. A movie is done by a team. It's just too big of a project. And I realized that I was never able to make my movie because I would never understand the importance of building a powerful team, because I felt I have to do everything. So that I relate when you tell that story. And well, I'm happy that we, at least two things we realized and we have been able to move away from it, because it's important. Wow, but that's powerful.
Well, it's also props to my ex. Okay. Because like the way he approached it, like he wasn't too pushy, but he wasn't also like letting go of it and like being like, fine, let her pay for everything if she wants to. Like, it's also props to him as a person, because not a lot of people would know how to deal with it in a healthy way. So you'd both grow. And actually, he's probably, well, I only had like 3 boyfriends, but he's the only ex that I'm still friends with, and we're really friends. Not like how people say, oh yeah, we're friends, it's fine. Like, we're really good friends still. We've broken up, but we also did that because, as I said before, like, you might come to a point where you understand that it's not working anymore, and it's okay. It was hurtful for both of us, but now it's like we're living better lives separately, and we're still, because we understood it before it was a burning building, we're still friends, and we're very close, and I wouldn't want to. That's also the thing that I said about love. If you love a person, you just want them to be happy, and it doesn't mean that you want them for you, and it doesn't mean that you could love them only like romantically. And I wouldn't want the amazing friendship that we built and the amazing ways that we grew, each of us grew in different ways when we were together. Like, we really grew a lot. So it was a great collaboration, really. I wouldn't want to like delete it with just like deleting the person from your life. So I think it's better to honor that relationship that you had, just in a different way, that is friendship now.
My God, now I feel worst about myself. No, all my exes, I'm not gonna say they hate me, but
It's like that for most people.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. To be fair, I think I could. I don't know if maybe I was too intense, and I feel that then when I don't have like a middle switch. So I feel if I'm with somebody, I am, and I haven't been able, I don't know why, to grow friendships after breaking up. With some of them, with one of them only, I still talk, and when I say talk, like react to their things on Instagram. That's as far as it goes. But at least there's no like hate or rejection, like literal rejection. But it's just, I feel for me the hard part is that middle, that what you're saying, that you were able to identify, oh, there's a good friendship here. What it makes no sense is make it romantic, and then we can all be happy. We couldn't do that. We were like, if this is not gonna work, the house is going down, and we burned everything down.
It's like that for most people,
Yeah.
just because there's a lot of emotions, and if you don't understand your emotions, then a lot of like coping mechanisms, triggers, etc., come from their reactions, and then your reaction gives the other person a different reaction, and it just like backfires, and it keeps on going. And it's like this.
Yes.
And yeah, it just takes a lot, and it's rare that like both people can be like, no, like, okay, this is not actually like about you. This is, I'm just angry with myself or sad or whatever. Let's just like cool off.
Okay. Was he way older than you?
He was older than me.
Okay,
yeah.
so then that makes me feel better, because I do feel that, you know, like age-wise, guys, that just is a reality. We grow so much slower than women that it's almost impossible to.
Yep.
So when you're telling me all this thing, and I'm like, and the guy was 29 or 29, I just
but
no.
that's also a reason why I'm like really picky with, like, as I said, I've only had 3 boyfriends throughout my whole life.
Okay.
And I'm really picky with people, because if I don't find a person that I really see, they don't even have to understand me or themselves fully. They have to have the will to try and understand themselves and you. And if the will is there, then because if something's not like, it's not working, then I don't know, I don't see the point of like being in a relationship just to be in a relationship, because I don't know, you're afraid to be alone, or you're just bored or whatever. I don't know, that really doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Works
No,
for most
me
people, but
well,
doesn't work for me.
True. For most people, I feel they're like that, but
But
no,
like, again, it's like that because they're afraid to be alone with themselves. Because if you don't have the distraction of the other person, and if you can't blame them of, oh, you know, I'm angry because you did this and that. Mostly, you're not actually angry about what the other person did. You've been angry already since whatever, 2 days ago, and you're just like holding it in, and that's when it came out. But if you're alone, then there's no one to yell at, just yourself.
Yes.
And if there's somebody else to blame, is it not better than blaming yourself?
True. I also feel that some people feel that the form is more important than the content. So, for example, they feel, as long as I'm in those people that I know that they just wanted to get married. I'm like, it's irrelevant getting married. It's relevant being with somebody that you really appreciate. And then if you're married or not, it's irrelevant. Exactly. But if you care about just being married, 99% you end up with the wrong person, because you're looking at the problem the wrong way, I would say. Yeah,
but that's from societal norms, and it really takes a lot of work with yourself to come to those realizations that that's not your idea, that actually the goal you think you should have is not actually the goal you want to have. It's just like an idea that you've seen somewhere, and you've seen it work for somebody, and you're like, oh, okay, let's do that.
Work.
Well,
you've seen it in the movies. So it works in the movie. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and I'm very, very impressed. Now I can say I know you a little bit. What I love about doing this podcast, I get to know the person, because we have been talking a little bit, but it's not enough. So this was pretty cool. Now I can say, now I can send you memes, because I feel I know you better. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, like it was a very nice conversation. For me, it was important to invite you because I want, I think in different areas, we're different artists doing different things. And I wanted to archive conversations that we can look 10 years after and say, remember 10 years ago we were doing this and this? I think that's pretty cool. And I love that people get to know a little bit more of you, more than just what, from the outside, also your idea. Because you're not sharing in your things, that they can come here and see it. I think words of wisdom were spoken, so thank you for that, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. See you next time.